everybody, my name is Cindy. Welcome back. Today I will be doing my late April wrap-up. In April, I found myself to only have read one book from my monthly TBR. And the rest of the books were non-monthly TBR related, but they were on my general TBR, so that kind of helped, right? So here are the books that I read in April. November 9 by Colleen Hoover. This book I enjoy reading so much, more than Confess. This book had a plot twist that completely threw me off guard. I didn't see it coming. I will discuss that more in a review video of this book that I will hopefully finish editing soon. As for my rating of this book, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. It was fun. There was an interesting storyline and I kind of like the OCP, kind of. Next up, I read Too Late by Colleen Hoover. Again, another Colleen Hoover book I did not expect myself finish reading. This book is actually available online to read for free. Yes, for free on Wattpad. I will link that below in the description box for you to check out if you feel like reading it. This book was a lot more cliche than the other Colleen Hoover books. You have that typical knight in shining armor named Luke/Carter who is sent to pretty much rescue a girl named Simone. The irony in this storyline is that Ben is actually an undercover police officer and he's attracted to his target girlfriend, which isn't a surprise when I read it because I totally saw that coming. It's not that oh my god moment, it's just like duh, they're bound to be together. It's just of how they get together. Pretty much just made me really much got tired of the storyline. Yes, I got tired of a story of Colleen Hoover. So after a couple chapters, I found myself skimming through the rest of the other chapters until I reached the end of the book. And it's just okay, that's it. I don't feel anything. It's not really my cup of tea, this Colleen Hoover book. I'm sorry to say that, even though I'm a die-hard Colleen Hoover fan. But I got to admit, the epilogue for this book was very interesting. There is a possibility that she will write a sequel for this book from the look of the epilogue. As for my rating, I gave this a 3 or a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was okay. It wasn't, that amazing or really good compared to her other books. The Deal by L. Kennedy. Oh my god, this book was simply so much fun to read. It's a new adult contemporary where we find ourselves, or me, finding myself swooming over this guy named Garrett. If Hannah did not agree to be his tutor, I would gladly volunteer myself to tutor him in philosophy, even though it's not my favorite subject. Garrett. Oh man, he is a heartthrob. Oh man. Oh. With that being said, I really like this story a lot. It was dynamic, there was humor, there was romance, and there were a couple of steamy love scenes. Their love story felt real and not very instant love, so I highly recommend you read the story if you feel as though you're in a reading slump. This story will actually get you out of it. With that being said, I gave this story 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good to read and fun and Garrett. An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. Yes, this book turned out to be kind of a typical John Green book where we have a main character who happens to be a guy who's on a quest to pretty much self-discover himself and at the same time find love. This is where we meet Colin, the main character, the protagonist, who found himself dumped by 19 Katherines. Okay, that is a lot of Katherines to have dated Colin. Seriously? And did I mention there is math equation in this book? Yeah, there is graphs and there is equation, and I felt as though I was back in calculus class again. And it has been a long time since that ever happened. And yes, this book just got really nerdy up to this now. This book was enjoyable, but at the same time, I felt the storyline to be a little bit draggy. It's just, I don't know, I just don't feel amazed by this book of John Green, but I prefer to read it over paper towns any day. So I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It was an okay reading. The last book I read in April was a novella kind of, The Mirror and the Maze by Renee Adi. This is actually a follow-up to the ending to The Wrath and the Dawn. We get a glimpse of what happened in the last scene in The Wrath and the Dawn from Colleen's perspective. And I don't want to say much because I might spoil the ending of The Wrath and Dawn for you. This was short, but it got me wanting to read more. And I really need to get my hands upon The Rose and the Dagger, the last book in this duology. But I did give The Mirror and the Maze 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for upcoming video. And I will see you soon, guys. Bye!